Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Finally, it's been way too long. It's been almost an hour and a half since we were last here. Steam has gone bonkers.
Many people have died. The world has ended, and
Many kittens have been killed.
bad things have happened. But we killed some people. We got Steam back underway. We had words with Ice Frog. No, we didn't have any words with Ice Frog. But yeah, finally time.
Injected Sparky the Wonder Hamster with some steroids. Now he's running a mile a minute. Got those servers
Sparky
back
the
online.
Wonder Hamster.
Yeah,
Who's
the hamster that runs all the servers.
that? Okay.
You know, that one hamster that runs all the world's computer power.
Dog versus relax.
Dog versus relax is what's finally coming up here, guys. The big bottleneck was there was a bug with Abaddon where his ultimate worked like
No,
it
the
had.
bottleneck was that Valve decided to release a patch in the middle
Yes.
of 5 tournaments ongoing. Valve, please wait until the
Yes.
tournaments are done, please.
But
I beg you.
Abaddon is supposedly fixed now. Before he was getting the Ags upgrade when he didn't have an Ag Scepter, so of course that's kind of game breaking. Pretty big deal. So that should be fixed now. Abaddon is pickable at least
Yeah.
as far as
With
I
that-
know.
With that being
But-
said,
Let's hop into this draft here. It's going by pretty quickly. Yeah, we have now 2 matches going at once. What is the other match that is?
Yeah,
VP versus rox.kis is now running simultaneously. It hasn't started yet, but it will be starting. So if you have the ticket, you want to watch that game, you can watch it in game. There will be no commentary. We're on a really tight schedule. We can't reschedule these matches, and the teams are on a tight schedule as well. So we're trying to make the best out of kind of a messy situation here. So
yeah, do apologize, guys. It is our intention to cast every game, and normally we would just reschedule the matches, but we're unable to because of the team schedules for other tournaments. So
Yeah.
the alternative was just assign forfeits or not have the games, but we'd rather those who bought the ticket at least.
yeah,
can
and,
play.
and I mean forfeits are really that last. We really want to reserve that for something where we have no other workaround. But we are at the tail end of the group stage, and of course we can't delay it too long because we want to start the brackets and the actual double elimination with the top 4 teams in the playoffs in a timely manner. So let's talk about this game a little bit. We've got Team Dog versus Relax. Team Dog, they are looking strong in this group stage. They are 4-1 right now. Is that correct? I don't have the standings right in front of me, and I can't tab out, but they are in great shape. They could use a win here.
I'm grabbing the standings right now.
Yeah, they could definitely use a win here, and if they win their last 2 games, after this it will be Dog versus Virtus Pro. They will be number 1. They will be 6-1. I know they only have 1 loss right now, so they have to be 4-1. That's the only way
Dog
about it.
is 4-1, and Relax is 2-4. If Relax won all their games today, they had a shot at even coming into the playoffs, but no, it's not looking.
Fnatic ruined their dreams and hopes.
Yeah, Relax and NextKZ are both officially eliminated. The reason being that even though NextKZ is 4-3, they lose the tiebreaker with Dog as well as with Fnatic. So,
Yes, the head-to-head over-under.
or sorry, with Dog as well as Rox.
Yes.
And Fnatic has the better record, so they don't go to tiebreakers.
Yeah. So looking at this draft again, we'll see Axe within the first 2 bans from the team against Relax. Some more respect for the Axe, and I think that makes sense. They've had a lot of good games with him, and Team Dog don't want to muck around with that. Team Dog do grab Centaur Murano with their first 2 picks, and Relax will grab the support duo Treant and Dazzle. So they'll have some living armor, and Dazzle, well, we know all about him. This draft is going by very quickly here. Team Dog ban out the Dragon Knight, which is interesting. They ban out the DK against the Treant. But they do grab the Darkseer, a hero that cuts through the living armor on heroes. Of course, doesn't do much to structures. Dog will grab Rubik. Now, let's see what RX are working on here. They've got Luna and Tide to go with their Dazzle and Treant Protector. So they have their 2 hard supports. This will be an offlane Tide in a solo role. There's your Luna there for their hard carry, and they'll need their mid with this 5th and final pick. Team Dog, well, they've got some flexibility. They could put Centaur in that off lane, work on a tri-lane with Mirana and Rubik. Or they could put Darkseer in the off lane. This is kind of an odd draft as well. Darkseer can go mid quite well, but I'm sure some of that will depend on what Relax want to do with this final pick and how well that pick would match up against a Darkseer in the mid lane. Now, Dog could also be looking to tri-lane the Centaur with Mirana and Rubik. Throw that Darkseer in the off lane, and then just grab a mid hero with their final pick as well. So both teams have a lot of flexibility across the board here. And for Relax, this is just a tough ban. It's really hard to gauge what they want to do. We haven't seen much tri-lane Centaur. I've brought it up a number of times, but none of these teams have actually gone for it. It has been a solo Centaur, and I think every game that we've seen a Centaur since 6.81 hit. But maybe this will be the game. There is still a Shadow Demon available in the pool. Maybe they could put Mirana mid to a Shadow Demon Rubik Centaur tri-lane, and then put Darkseer in the offlane. It's just, there are so many options. Enigma could have worked here. Would have been rather greedy, but that would have given you your two solo heroes, Darkseer and Centaur. Yeah, I mean, they could have done an Enigma here. It's sort of an odd ban. Dog haven't really been running Enigma, at least not in the matches that we've seen. So maybe just a hero that Relax just aren't particularly eager to deal with. Dog do ban out Puck with their final choice, and there you go. Doom gets picked up for Relax. That will probably be their mid hero. Tied in the off lane, then you've got the Luna, Dazzle, and Treant for your tri-lane. Yep, that makes a pretty decent amount of sense. Now, the issue here, huge amount of strength. And this would have been such a great Timbersaw game, but Dog already have two offlaners. No way they could make a Timbersaw work in this draft. I think it would be a little bit too greedy. But this final pick should be pretty telling of how they want to lane things.
5 seconds remaining.
And who wants to be off lane, who wants to be mid, and who is going to be their position 1. One of the reasons Mirana is such a great second pick hero right now, she can really play any role. And wow, there you go. Ancient Apparition. We haven't seen a lot of him recently, but he'll make an appearance this game. Well, works pretty well against the Treant. Living Armor still semi-potent, but the ultimate does come in handy. So this will be a Pycat Mirana, a tri-lane built around the Mirana, it would seem. Fada will be on the Centaur, and that means Darkseer will be the offlane. So, all right, solo mid Centaur, and up against, who will be the mid here? I think it's still going to be Doom. Shotchlo picks up the Tidehunter, which is also interesting. I almost would have expected him to be on the Luna here. Relax has been doing all sorts of interesting things, moving their players and their roles around. I've seen Shotchlo an array of different heroes. For a while, it was Dread that was playing Axe, and it's been Shotchlo that's been in control of the Axe recently in that kind of position 1 role. So hopefully these teams load in here. It seems like most of the Steam issues we were having before have been resolved, but you never know. We'll have a pause as some of these players seem to have some trouble loading. And yeah, there's Pycat with the, oh, Jesus, come on, let's get these games rolling face. And I can't say that I blame him. But these teams, they're troopers, man. Few flames, and glad we're able to at least get into this game here. It looks like everyone will slowly load in. And it looks like a Wild LD will be appearing here back on the stream.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Was just trying to help sort out our other game. We had another patch, or like our 4th of the day. So everyone, we were about to start VP versus rox.kis, and had to rehost the lobby and try and fix things. But seems like that game should be starting soon. Should be available in Dota TV as well. Do apologize for anyone who's looking forward to watching a cast of that. If we have time one of these days, maybe we'll go back and cast it off the replay. But even then, it won't be in the client. Nothing we can do about that.
Don't lie, LD. You know we're not going to cast that replay. We ain't got no time for that.
Probably not, actually.
Ain't nobody got time for that, unless you're going to be solo casting your heart away tonight when everyone else is sleeping.
Maybe I will. But I mean, even then, it won't be on the Dota TV replay, which is unfortunate.
It is.
Volvo,
really is.
Please. I mean, honestly, like, I understand that they work on an NA schedule, and this is a convenient time for them to patch. But, you know, Abaddon, sure, he's breaking pub games, but I guess that's the thing, is they're looking at it like, the pub scene is a huge part of their customer base, and it's a major issue. They want to fix it immediately, but for tournaments, you can just say no running Abaddon.
Yeah, and it's...
I think they just screwed up releasing a patch is the problem. Like, normally they're pretty quick. It's like a 1 patch, download it, everything's good to go. But for some reason, there was like 4 patches, and nobody could get the patch even after restarting. Well, that's enough whining. That's enough.
Trickery is afoot, but we finally got a game on our hands, LD. That's what we've been waiting for the past 90 minutes, and we finally got to fish our wish, and now we are winning.
Fish our wish? What is this?
Go fish, dude. Come on. That's what happens when you're looking for a card, you don't have it, and you fish it, you pick up the card you wanted.
Here we go. Could be our first blood. They'll lift up the tree off the bat.
Tame my Wild. He gets hoof stomped. They'll have plenty of follow-up damage. Dread does skill the Grave at level 1, but Tree, he's just not going to be able to get away. There you go. First blood for the Darkseer, and it's not over yet. Dread actually taking a fair bit of damage. Mirana did not get arrow level 1. Grabbed the leap to give the team that little bit of movement speed buff. If he had an arrow coming off cooldown, maybe he could have grabbed a kill on the Dazzle, but they'll settle for a 1-0. Team Dog off to the races.
So, did you introduce the teams yet? Or?
I did not. We were paused, so
Okay.
you missed literally nothing.
Well, we've got Chachlo on the offlane Tidehunter for Team Relax. They cannot qualify for the playoffs now, unfortunately. I was rooting for these guys after that Axe Rampage, who wouldn't be, but unfortunately, they're out of the running now. Tame My Wild will be handling the Treant Protector, playing a roaming support. Tame My Wild normally in a farming role. Yoki will be going mid as the Luna. We have Wind X playing the safe lane Doom, and that puts Dread on to support Dazzle. So quite a few role swaps here. Wind X also normally on support.
Yeah, doing things very differently. The Shotchlo, he does play offlane sometimes, but he's been playing position 1 recently. So Relax just switching it up, and maybe one of these cases of this is a game where they know that they can't make it to the top 4. I wouldn't call it a throwaway game, but not as much on the line. So if they want to experiment with their roles, try something a little bit different, this is kind of an ideal time to do it against the team that is still, in it to win it. Up top, Tame My Wild will rotate in onto Fada, throws out the Leech Seed, but won't have enough to secure a kill, I don't think. That Centaur just a little bit too beefy and won't make his life easy. Dread rotates towards the middle, and down bottom, Misery and Pos, they are stationed on the other side of the tree line. They are eager to jump on this Doom. And Doom, he does not have any vision into his jungle, so all he knows is that there's a bunch of supports missing, and they could be anywhere, so he will position himself appropriately, and Wind X, well, he'll stay near the tower, won't go into experience range, and that is for the better.
Yeah, Doom is probably one of the better heroes to be in this situation because he can, in theory, just start jungling, but the issue is that Dog are all up in his woods, not just in the lane. And meanwhile, running this Tidehunter tree dual lane, what does that actually do against Centaur? Are they actually going to be able to kill Centaur? Tide matches up fine against Centaur 1v1. You can just keep on Anchor Smash spamming him and actually win the lane. I would say Tide pretty handily wins this lane, especially at the early levels, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the tree's job is. Tree doesn't really have a good home. If he goes bottom, he's a melee hero. They drafted 3 melee heroes, and just the running the Luna, who's one of their stronger laners mid. Yeah. It makes sense, because she will get destroyed by this tri-lane if they catch her, but the problem is now their other lanes really suffer, so it's just not having a good home for the Luna and not having too many great alternatives.
Yeah, it's a tree without a home. What a sad story. Now, on the side of Dog, we actually haven't introduced this roster yet. We will have Fada in the solo safe lane role playing on the Centaur, Misery on the support Rubik, moving through the Dire jungle. Who is this tagged up as Blue Men Crans playing on the Darkseer? We can probably figure it out through deductive reasoning here. Pycat will be on the Mirana. Pos will be on the Ancient Apparition. Who is that? Who are we forgetting? No, on the Darkseer.
Oh, that's...
Blue Men
that's
Crans.
MSS.
MSS. Oh, how could I forget? Sorry, the name was just not telling enough. It's been a long day here. So, Darkseer is in the solo mid role this match, and it seems to be going okay. He's 13-0 in last hits. Luna is 11-3. So, per usual with Darkseer, he doesn't do much in the way of denying farm except shoving creeps into the tower and making it a little bit more difficult to last hit. But he'll find some farm of his own, and he'll stack up in the jungle. And yeah, this is an open mid lane though, which is kind of strange. Yoki's just free farming away in the mid. Not too often you get to see that.
The Darkseer pushed the lane with Ion Shell and then went to farm to stack the woods, which he'll farm later. But he's still laning mid.
Yeah.
So yeah, leaves it open just for a little bit.
So giving Luna a lot of space, I guess, is the point I'm trying to make here.
Yeah, but the trade-off is that he will have an incredibly fast mech, and Luna getting a little extra CS mid is not the biggest deal. She still takes a while to really come online in team fights. If you look at Dog's mid game, they get a mech on the Darkseer, and they get the Centaur ult, and they just start team fighting, diving for kills. That's how Dog likes to play. They just get their bare minimum levels, and then they just go, and they keep on fighting. This is a very aggressive team. There will be a rotation top from the tree, but what's Tree gonna do here? I don't know.
Throw out a Leech Seed, branch a few people. I don't know. I mean, there's just not much he can do.
I mean, he can he can harass the Centaur a little bit, but they're not getting kills. They're not getting kills in this dual lane, and so they can't really zone out a Centaur that well with 2 melee heroes.
He's past that window of Tree being really tilted where he can just walk in, Leech Seed, and branch him down.
I do like this move, though. Since, like you pointed out, they're leaving the mid lane open, Misery will come mid and just get the experience while the Darkseer's in the woods.
Yeah.
And then he can come back to the lane. And already MSS level 5, Bottle, Soul Rain up, and he can go straight into a mech from here. He should have, a sub 10-minute mech at the rate he's going.
Yeah, he is off to a good start indeed. There is a haste rune in the top position. Luna kind of scouted it out, but didn't grab it. Luna does have a bottle as well, so I'm a little bit surprised that Yoki didn't just fill her up. He does still have a full bottle, but yeah, we'll see. To each his own. Fada still doing pretty well in the top lane, 15-1 against the 23-6 Tide Hunter, like you were mentioning. Anchor Smash makes Tide's life a little bit more difficult, but or pardon me, Centaur's life more difficult.
Yeah. Tame Wild was hunting for the Darkseer. They saw he's missing off the mid lane, and they wanted to stop these stacks, but it was too late. Darkseer had already cleaned them up, and this is where Tree just is kind of an ineffective hero.
And now he could be in trouble. He does not have Nature's Veil. He'll have a Leech Seed to slow people down. Yoki coming forward, throws out some harassment onto Misery. He did grab that Haste Rune after all, and the Tree will walk back to safety. But
Tide just making some troll faces. I'm pretty sure he knows how annoying this is for Fada. Keeps on pump faking the Anchor Smash, but max Anchor Smash and Kraken Shell, like, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Fada does have a level 3 double edge, though. This could be a little too much damage. We might see a smiley face the other direction. Oh, boy.
Fada lets him get away, but yeah, a little bit of a close call there for the old Tide Hunter. Tide does now have phase boots up, so he's doing pretty well, and he can chase down this Tide Hunter.
Let's see those drums, maybe a little Mask of Madness armlet action.
Shotchlo's usually position 1, so I'm not surprised to see him farming well, and phase boots are still a little atypical on Tide. He has big mana issues.
Yeah, Tide, unlike Centaur, all of his spells cost mana. But if you skip Gush, I guess you don't have as many mana issues.
Yeah, that's actually a fair point. Anchor Smash is pretty mana efficient, and
Gush costs a lot of mana, 120 at all levels, which for Tide is huge. So maybe this will be a Gushless Tide. I mean, you can carry Tide it's not the worst thing in the world. It's pretty bad, but like you can go Armlet, Mask of Madness, Phase, Drums, something like that, and he's very tanky. He hits quite hard, and you always have Ravage to fall back on. So I don't know. We'll see what they do.
Yeah,
it's a very weird. Phase Boots is kind of an unusual choice, though.
Yeah, and I feel like for him to secure kills, he still needs 1 point in Gush at least just for the slow. We'll see MSS get harassed in the jungle, but again, they come a little bit late to the party. He's already cleared out the stack, and now Ion Shell will do some damage to Tame My Wild. This is a level 4 Ion Shell.
Tree is just so useless against a Darkseer who's this far. He's level 7.
Dazzle just tries to TP out right in front of the Centaur. That's an easy hoof stomp double edge.
Well, he had nowhere to go. Centaur just cut him off from one side, Darkseer from the other. The only option would have been if there was no points in Vacuum, but I believe he already had one. Well, meanwhile, Windex in the bottom lane, he's getting his levels up. He is level 12. He went back and he ate this Centaur at the standard big camp a bit earlier.
Yep. So got a War Stomp in the
Ravage
belly.
top lane, onto Fada they'll go.
And will they have the damage, though? Stampede back, he'll survive, Pos TP's in, and throws out a couple of auto attacks. Doesn't even use the Chilling Touch. Just trying to support his Centaur, but really didn't even need to port up. Centaur was fine all by his lonesome. Fada just a bit too tanky and elusive with that ultimate.
I feel like against Dog, teams should be banning Mirana. Because Pycat plays this hero almost every game, and he plays it in like every possible laning setup. I've seen him go safe lane solo, off lane solo. I've seen him go aggressive dual lane, aggressive tri-lane, defensive tri-lane.
The only thing he doesn't do is solo mid. That's really the only role
Pycat's obviously a good player and can play other heroes, but this pick for them, they have too many different ways to run it, so that they can almost always get a matchup that suits them in the laning stage. So I would honestly say against Dog, it's worth considering a Mirana ban, even in the first phase, potentially. Like,
I agree.
Somewhat similar to Fnatic banning Wisp. I think Mirana is a bit easier to deal with in general, but just for Dogs than Tiny Wisp is. But I think Mirana's just too good of a hero for them.
Mirana's easier to deal with than like a Wisp in the game, but the problem is if you first or second pick Mirana, it makes it really hard to draft against because you just don't know what role he's going to play. Worst case scenario, they could put that Mirana on a support. Could be in the off lane, could be position 1. And, I mean, we even saw at the tail end of this draft where we didn't really know exactly how Dog wanted to set up these lanes until the 5th pick. And still, at that point, it was kind of hard to guess. With a Centaur and a Darkseer, you kind of guess they're going to be solo, but neither of them really shine in the mid-roll. Darkseer mid isn't the craziest thing ever, but it just makes them more difficult to draft against, which in turn can give Dog an even larger edge. So it was a very roundabout way of saying I agree with you, LD.
Thanks, buddy. Well, guys, we're getting close. Almost $100,000 prize pool. It's only been like 36 hours since the ticket got released. It's just inching upwards. About to break the $98,000 mark, so road to 6-digit prize pool.
Yeah! 6 figs!
Yeah. If you haven't already done it, there is a Dota TV bundle available. It comes with a really cool axe set done by Red Moon Studios, who are also they did a lot of the items for the ESL bundle as well.
Harbinger
the
of the Moon.
Compendium.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do great work, and
it's pretty
really
cool.
nice guys.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see them benefiting from that is, by partnering with our tournament and ESL. So.
Nice guys, and it's a cool set. I saw some tweets from people saying they really like the set. And
I had one guy who's like, "Don't kid yourself. I only bought this this bundle because of this set." I'm like, okay.
Saw a few comments like that, and it's just like, well, honestly, dude,
good.
All the better, You can like the games, you can like the set, one or the other, both.
Support the teams.
We're happy for your support either way. So.
It was kind of a weird thing. It's like that doesn't bother me.
It's sort of like the tone almost sounded like you wanted it to be a flame, but it kind of is like you still bought the bundle, dude. We're still very excited and happy that you want to support the summit. So it is going to be a really cool event, though. I think most of y'all out there by now know the format, but it will culminate in the finals here in the sunny Los Angeles studio house from BTS. We'll have 6 teams here, and it will be players casting players. There will be some hosts mixed in on the stream, but it will be a very casual, fun environment, and you'll get to see a side of the players that most tournaments don't often showcase.
Yes, sir. So, well, we have another pause.
Admin LD about to...
I keep on forgetting I'm supposed to be the admin in this game. So.
About to step it up here and see what's going
on. Normally I wouldn't care that much about a short pause, but...
And the problem is here, we're already so far delayed. We're about 90 minutes
it's Dog
behind.
who's pausing, and they are playing VP next. So if they're willing to pause, then as long as they'll play their VP match, that's fine.
Yeah.
I believe they have another tournament right after that.
Yeah,
so
that's the issue. Once
we were trying to get it underway for them, but hey, if they want to pause, they want to pause.
Yeah, that's true. So, all right, 2-0 here at the 8-minute mark. A small lead for Dog out of the gate. About a 750 gold lead and somewhere about 1,500 experience. Not huge, but pretty decent here for the 8 minutes. At the bottom lane, Wind X. He gets telekinesis back.
That arrow just barely missed.
Pycat off the mark.
If that hits, they get the kill.
Easy
for
kill.
Sure.
For sure, yeah.
In theory, if you lift arrow immediately at the perfect timing, it should be pretty much impossible to miss.
Yeah, the telekinesis arrow is a little bit easier than like the disruption arrow, for example, where you have to.
No, I think it's harder because you have less time to set up. Like the lift duration,
the lift
even
is
at
shorter.
max, is only 2.25 seconds, whereas disruption is 2.5 at all levels.
Yeah.
It's easier in the sense that I think it's just easier in general with disruption. Top lane, they'll go in on the...
Yep, burn the Stampede. Double edge on Shush, though. He may have a few points in the Kraken Shell, but yeah, that won't keep you alive from the double edge. And
the only reason the lift arrow is better is because sometimes disrupting your opponents can actually help them. Like if it gives their support a chance to body block the arrow or just a TPN grave, something like that.
Right.
So I would say lift arrow is better in that sense, but in terms of reliably hitting it.
Oh, speaking of reliably hitting, he smacks Dread in the face. Telekinesis, he still manages to get the Grave off. Will TP out. Doom ulti comes onto Misery, but Moonlight Shadow flies. Misery will survive. Pycat looking for setup onto Wind X. TP coming in from the Darkseer, but MSS will just run back towards the mid lane.
Tide is Ravage soon. He also has 1,600 gold, so if he gets Blink Ravage... we saw a Tide solo mid. It was from Rise, I believe. Yeah, from MYM, and it wasn't very effective. But Tide offlane to me is much more of like a versatile It's much safer offlane because he doesn't have to get stuff done if he's just your offlaner. It's like having a Clockwork there, having a Centaur. He'll have plenty of opportunities through the mid game to give game impact. And end of the day, the Luna is farming quite well mid. So I think Relax are in okay shape, even though their lanes were very weird to start this game. But where they may struggle is that there's the early mech about to come out on MSS. And as soon as he gets mech, Dog could look to 5-man here or just find some pickoffs with Centaur ult and mech.
Yeah, now Yoki, he does have an Eclipse, but Darkseer, kind of a scary target to try and blow the Eclipse on because of that surge. But now support is inbound, telekinesis onto Yoki, the Ice Blast flies. It will be on the money, and a little bit more damage, he should shatter. Ooh, the Wall of Replica. That is a complete whiff from MSS there.
Probably not. Should be okay. So, Shadeshell off to the Ancients, has his Blink Dagger goal now. If he wants to go for one, and I mean, I imagine he does, but yeah, he's really their best initiator. Tree's not going to have a Blink for a long time. He hasn't spent his gold yet, though, so you never know. Maybe he's thinking about a little more of a carry Tide.
Yeah.
Shiva's first.
I think they still need an initiator, though, and if he doesn't go Blink, they'll just have no control in this mid game. Like you were mentioning, Luna still takes a little while to come online, even though she's farming really well. Dog will have this 5-man Death Ball online a lot earlier. And yep, exactly right. Fada picks up his Blink Dagger on the Centaur in the off lane. Tide still with 2,600. Only time will tell.
Well, Doom will TP into the bottom lane, has the Midas up, and it's a nice catch-up item here. I like this choice along with running Luna. Relax have plenty of late game. Like, I would... Dog Darkseer wall is not particular. It's decently strong. You have the Luna aura you can grab as well as whatever Doom auras you have, but I still think Relax can take this late and at least be even, if not have the edge. They're setting up bottom though, and Fata is ready with the blink.
Yeah, there's the blink forward, hoof stomp, double edge. Podcat hops forward, and Ancient Apparition. He'll be there to snipe the last hit with the long range Ice Blast. Easy setup and easy kill for Team Dog. Podcat topping the net worth chart. He's also our last hit leader. Well, tied with the Luna now. Everyone hovering around that 75 mark.
See, my issue with Tide as a hero right now is just I feel like there's better options. It's kind of similar to Earthshaker, where I feel most times Sand King is the better choice. Most times Centaur is a better choice than Tide. If you want to run just an offlane initiator, Tide will win certain matchups a bit easier because of Anchor Smash, but you have Blink, Hoof Stomp, Double Edge, which first of all does more damage than Ravage, Anchor Smash, and also is on a 13-second cooldown, compared to Ravage, which is, I mean, God, what is it? 2.5 minutes?
150, yeah. Oh, there's the Stampede forward. They jump on the Dread. Centaur has plenty of damage to take him down. The Ion Shell helping out. Ice Blast flies in, but that Dazzle has long been dead. That'll make it 5-0 here at the 12.5-minute mark. Team Dog in the lead.
And sure, Ravage has a much bigger AoE, and also you've Kraken Shelled it and sure you get it off, but let's be honest, Centaurs don't miss that many stomps, so it's very easy to pick setup for him. Heroes like Rubik who are good anyway. Shadow Demon, Bane, even... Oh, what have they stolen here? Level 4 Devour. Well, Rubik's getting rich.
Yeah. Ruby will get a little bit of extra money. That's not bad. Ruby.
So he's gone Oblivion Staff. Is this a Refresher Rush? He won't have the mana to support it.
That's exactly where I was going. We'll see Tree get chopped down in the bottom lane. Centaur's big axe is... Well, that seems to be the counter to the Treant, as it's now 6-0. Fata just dominating 4-0-2. This Centaur has been involved in every single kill, and there is no sign of him slowing down. But how much? What's the mana cost on Refresher? Like, is there any way?
375, I believe.
So that's like his entire mana pool. He can't even Ravage Refresher once. Forget about Ravage Refresher.
Yeah,
Ravage.
375, and then his ultimate also
150.
Costs more mana when you level it up too. But even at level 1, let's say he's at level 1, that's 300 mana for Ravage, and then another 375 for, so it's 675 just to use Ravage twice and use Refresher, not counting Anchor Smash, not counting Gush. So his mana pool now...
No, he's going Orchid.
Okay.
It's a double Oblivion Staff.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Refresher is kind of the more standard Tide item, but it's just not possible. So,
yeah.
How does Orchid fare this game? Smoke from Dog. They'll be heading towards mid, but yeah, Orchid is okay against Darkseer, I think. Maybe against Mirana.
It's not bad, but I think
they
he still needs a blink.
Though. Like, they have Lucent Beam, they have Doom. I don't feel like they're hard. It's an odd choice. I don't know. We'll see how it works out, though. I'm not going to question. I've never seen Orchid Tide.
Orchid Tide is not something I'm privy to either. Stampede forward in the mid lane. They're looking for someone. Yoki moves into the trees.
Eclipse is ready.
They just can't find him. Fata, he'll take a lot of damage here. Lucent Beam, then Eclipse. More than enough damage to bring him down, but Pycat comes in. Arrow connects on Luna. She falls. Tame My Wild.
He just barely catches him with the ultimate.
Oh.
Nice stolen Eclipse there by Misery, though.
Yeah, Tree almost shatters. He's got 1 health left, but nope, not anymore. Vacuum will be enough to finish him off.
MSS is a beast. Dude, he's so good at that. At just, like, using Vacuum very creatively, like, just dropping the wall, vacuuming in. Has he stolen Doom? No. Okay, stolen Devour.
Yeah, got Devour again.
Misery has been, to me, he's been, like, playing, like, karaoke level Rubik recently. Just, like, getting every good spell every game. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, Pycat here on the high ground in the Radiant jungle. He's ready to rotate towards mid should an opportunity arise. He did use Moonlight Shadow in that last fight, but that won't stop him from throwing arrows. He did hit Luna with an arrow in the last fight, and that's what secured the kill on her, but her Eclipse was already burned. Could have, wasn't that big of a deal. Doom, though, he'll get initiated upon. He has an ultimate available. I don't think he wants to throw it out here, though.
Attempted. Ancient Apparition ult comes crashing in. Dread's going to fall. They Doom Pycat, but they'll lose. No, Windex actually was not hit by that ultimate.
Oh,
Might be okay. Centaur has a blink ready.
But Shotchlow coming in. He'll just blink onto... Fata blinks onto Shotchlow.
Uh-oh.
This could be bad. The Ion Shell doing a lot of damage. Rubik throws out the Fade Bolt. Shotchlow getting healed up from that, Tree Leech Seed, but this is just a bloody disaster in the mid lane.
See, that's the thing. It's like Ravage is down, and now Dog's like, okay, you might have done okay in one fight, we're just going to go win this fight. And they didn't even do that well. Scores 11-1.
Yep.
They are farming the Luna, but Luna not really online yet. She went Tread's Drums. I kind of feel she should have rushed BKB. She was a little squishy in the mid game, but the problem is that Dog are almost entirely nuke damage. Now Pycat will get a Maelstrom, but mostly, yeah, his right click's decent, but a lot of that is the Maelstrom nuke. And with BKB, Luna can actually fight. Without it, I feel she's just going to be food.
Yeah, and now, I mean, Dog, they've only taken down 1 or 2 towers, but they just have so much momentum here. The item progression is so much more obvious. 2 Blink Daggers out now. Misery has picked one up on the Rubik. And, of course, that mech we saw in Darkseer very early on. Doom did end up going hand to Midas, so Windex is taking a little bit longer to come online than usual. Close to his mech, actually 1 creep kill away before grabbing the recipe. So that will be good for Relax, but will it be enough?
Really solid late game, but they're just in danger of getting run over. Because there's the double blinks on Dog. They have Centaur ult. They have Darkseer mech. He's level 11. He'll have his level 2 wall in 1 level, and that's everything the Dog want to fight. And anything else they get is just a luxury item, but there's no more core items needed. They can just keep on going for pickoffs like this. Doom in the jungle gets caught out by a stomp, and
he'll shatter if anything else
nope,
here.
Living armor, maybe enough.
Will it keep him alive? This will be a close call. And nope, the grave is there, and I don't think he would have shattered anyhow. So, all right, Doom survives, but a close call. Now, Tide did complete his Orchid, so we'll see if this Orchid rush on Tide ends up being successful.
It's a little weird because, like, Orchid's not a bad item in general, but, I mean, it's not like there's a Storm this game, right? Or a Puck.
Or an Ember Spirit. Or,
yeah, someone who they desperately require lockdown for. So,
yeah.
I'd be curious to, like, talk to him about his thinking of this, but right now, it does seems to me like a Blink would have been doing more for them.
Yeah, those big Ravages. It's just harder to get in position now, even with the Orchid. The team either has time to run away, or they can just stun you and try and jump on you. If Centaur is nearby and hops forward, then worst case scenario is Tide gets blown up before you can get off the Ravage. Though with Kraken Shell, of course, that usually is.
Yeah, and with Misery having a Blink Dagger now, and the Tide not having Blink, that's the other thing, is he's up against the Rubik. It's so easy for Rubik to steal Ravage. Yeah. He can just stay way back, and if Tide can't Blink on top of him, then he can just dodge away from the Ravage, and then come back in and grab it. So
yeah.
With Blink Dagger, you can just Blink on top of Rubik, stun Ravage, and then it's almost impossible for him to avoid it.
Yeah, and I guess worst case scenario isn't him getting killed. It's more Rubik stealing the Ravage and giving him a taste of their own medicine. That is
God forbid Rubik gets Ravage.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many good spells to steal this game. Here they go.
Stampede forward, the Vacuum, Dread, and Tame My Wild both get dropped to start off the fight.
And
Ravage comes out, and Rubik, he's ready to throw it back out. High Cat, Starstorm, he might not even need the Ravage here. They'll finish off Doom. Wall of Replica comes down.
Ravage is coming. Misery's going for this. Surge him in. No surge.
Nope, they'll put it on to Fada instead as he hops forward.
Oh, he has found on the backside the Luna. They're going to get a team wipe out of this one. Yoki lifted up. The Ravage was there. He stole a Lucent Beam as well. At least no Eclipse, but yeah, that's kind of why you need Blink on Tide versus Rubik.
Yep, absolutely.
Misery played that one well, but realistically, what's Tide going to do when they go on his team? Like, he has to go in and Ravage immediately or they lose the fight anyway.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that was one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of scenarios. But a 5-0 exchange, 16-1. This could end up being a quick game here. Dog already 7,500 gold, 10,000 experience, and they're going to go forward onto Dread. He gets off the grave, living armor once again, but taking very hefty damage. Arrow. Oh, actually hits him. It causes the shatter. Oh, no. Dread, it's a disaster. Now Tame My Wild. He has an overgrowth, but they'll just hop forward. They've got plenty of damage. He can't even get it off.
Freaking Centaur, dude.
GG.
Relax. I mean, got trashed.
I don't even think that was premature. What could they have done? 18-1 in 20 minutes.
I don't either. I mean, like, again, why would you pick Tide over Centaur if you had a choice? I don't think there's a reason to.
And then the Orchid over Blink.
Centaur Stomp has a much smaller AoE, but you got a Blink Dagger on this hero, and he has a spammable Haste Rune in his ultimate. Like, you're not gonna miss your Stomp.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about meta earlier today, and Centaur, he's just a little bit better than Tide at playing that role. It's a sad reality. But, wow. So an action-packed game and a quick one as well. We will have one more game coming up today. And
yeah, for anyone who wants a Dota TV ticket, VP versus rox.kis is still ongoing. You can watch it in the client. Yes. We are going to be waiting for VP to finish, and then we'll begin Dog versus VP live here on the main stream.
Mm-hmm. So we'll have another break, and then our last match of the day will be coming up here for the Summit EU. Again, sorry for the confusing scheduling and the downtime today, but
Fire Valve.
What are you going to do? We are at the behest of Dota 2, Steam, and Valve. So
mercy, please.
Whew. All right. Well, I'm Zyori. That's LD. Thank you for joining us on Beyond the Summit. You are watching Summit coverage powered by Twitch. Hang around because there's one more game coming up before we wrap up today.